Hi everyone, Aiden here with eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at our Titan Chain assisted tensioning snow tire chains and seeing how they fit on our 2023 Subaru Outback. This is going to be for tire size 225 60 R18, and there are other tire sizes that this chain will fit, so if your Subaru has a different tire size, be sure to plug that information into our fit guide, make sure this one will work for you, or find the right one that will work for you. When it comes to tire chains for your Outback, there's some things you need to consider. Subaru explicitly states in the owner's manual that they don't recommend the use of tire chains. And don't worry, you still can use some of them because they do recommend that if you have to use some sort of assisted traction device, like a chain, that it needs to be SAE Class S certified. And what that means is the tire chain is low profile enough to be approved for use on vehicles that have a very limited wheel well clearance, like we have here today. And luckily, this Titan chain is SAE Class S certified. It's going to work well for this limited wheel well clearance and has a much less likelihood of making contact with any sort of suspension components or the wheel well up here. This is going to be a diamond pattern chain, and what that means is you're going to have these diamond shapes forming across the tire and pieces going across diagonally and running along with the tire, making for a much more even contact with the road throughout. This can give us a somewhat smoother ride quality compared to something like a ladder pattern chain, which just has sections of chain going perpendicular across the tire. That's also going to help give us traction with turns. As for the link shape, if we come in close, we can see that it's going to be a square-shaped link. And all that really means is that these links are going to have harder edges and a little bit more height compared to something like a cable or a twisted link. The square shape is going to be a little bit more aggressive and give us a bit more bite into things like ice and deeper snow. The assisted tensioning device is going to be this main section of chain that runs across our wheel right here. There's a rubber elastic section that's going to be applying some tension, not a whole lot compared to something like a full self-tensioning chain where there's going to be a mechanism constantly pulling back a large section of slack, but this right here is going to act like a rubber tensioner might and be applying some pressure, so you don't have to make as many adjustments going down the road, and you don't have to worry about it as much. The other nice thing is you don't need a rubber tensioner that might come sold separately. Manual tension chains, we do always recommend using those, but with this one, it's built right into the tire chain, and you don't have to worry about forgetting it, and you always have a nice strong fit on the tire. The construction is going to be a manganese nickel alloy steel, and what that means is it's going to be more resistant to rust and corrosion over time, making it a good option if you're looking for this to last for multiple seasons, compared to something like a low carbon steel, which isn't as weather resistant. The chains out front that may come in contact with the rim are going to be coated for protection so you don't have any metal on metal contact. And then they do come with a really nice storage case. It's going to be this soft shell material, which is fairly rigid and quite durable, and there's plenty of room inside that case to house the pair of chains together. This is going to keep them nice and neat inside your vehicle so they're ready to go when you need them. And the installation process here is going to be very straightforward. No need to climb underneath the vehicle and make any connections on the back. It's pretty simple and straightforward, so let's walk you through it now. Starting off our installation, you want to lay out your tire chains and make sure that nothing's tangled up and check for proper orientation. The coated cable is going to be the section in the back behind the tire with all of our connection points on this yellow coated chain out front. Then there is going to be a top and bottom side. Go to the end links on either side, whether it's this yellow chain or the cable, and we'll see the smoother side of the cross links and the more hooked abrasive side. We want that smooth side face up because that's going to be the part that actually touches the tire and makes contact with it, while the hook side is face away. Once you've determined the proper orientation, you can feed one end behind the tire to the other side. I like to not lead with this arm, the side that has the assisted tensioning, because it tends to get caught much easier. This part will be maybe a little bit tricky, but this open part in the middle is where our tire is going to sit. And once you've got it fed around most of the way, you can typically come around and pull it the rest of the way from here, making sure to pull all of the red mechanisms and yellow chains forward and making sure nothing got tangled along the way. We can then take the coated cables. The end closest to you here has a series of studs, and the end over by me has a catch plate. These two will join together like this, but in the wheel well. So bring it up inside, probably going to be a little hard to see, but I can pull it forward to show you a little bit how that joins together and gets tucked behind. Before you let go completely, bring the rest of that chain forward and make your second connection with the green hook and the yellow link, and take this time to center the chain up on the tire. Take the assisted tensioning arm and the red catch plate on the bottom, join the two together, and if need be, you can feed it through some of these red loops here to add a little bit of extra tension before bringing it across to the other end of the tire chain. You can see with our tire today, it's already really tight before we do that. So honestly, we're probably going to go straight from the catch plate up a couple links across to the chain here and hook it in. And once you're done with that, you can repeat the process on the other side, drive over them a few times, come out and check on it and make sure that nothing has loosened up or settled in too much. If you need to make any further tightening adjustments, be sure to do so. Like I mentioned, in extreme cases, you can feed it through one of these red loops or both. For our tire size today, that's probably not an option even if it did settle in. But what we could do is maybe tighten up this green hook a link or two, things like that to get a better fit. But then you're ready to hit the road. And that'll complete our look at and installation of the Titan Chain assisted tensioning snow tire chains on our 2023 Subaru Outback. Thanks for watching.